Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video we will learn various dimensioning methods. So let's start. So there are basically two types of methods which are used for placing of dimensions. So one is a aligned system of dimensioning and another is a unidirectional system of dimensioning. So in aligned system of dimensioning, the dimension is placed perpendicular to the dimension line in such a way that it may be read from the bottom edge or the right hand edge of the drawing sheet. So let's say this is our drawing sheet, right? So whatever dimension we have placed or we have drawn given on the drawing sheet, right, it should be read from the bottom edge of the drawing sheet or right hand edge of the drawing sheet. So in this case, horizontal dimension are given horizontally, vertical dimension are given vertically, so that it could easily read from the right hand edge. The dimension should be placed near the middle and above the dimension line. So dimension should be placed near the middle of the dimension line and above the dimension line. So here we will not cut our dimension line to place our dimension. Similar way, second system of dimensioning, that is called unidirectional system of dimensioning. So in unidirectional system, all the dimensions are so placed so that they can be read from the bottom edge of the drawing sheet only. So whatever dimension we put, we represent that should be read from the bottom edge of the drawing only. So all the dimension in the unidirectional system are placed horizontally, either it is a horizontal dimension or vertical dimension. The dimension lines are also broken near the middle for inserting the dimension, and this system is mainly used on large drawings as of aircraft, automobile, where it is inconvenient to read the dimension from the right hand side. Right. So generally this unidirectional system is used for a large drawing in which it is inconvenient to read from the right hand side of the drawing. Let's see how to represent a dimension using aligned system of dimensioning and unidirectional system of dimensioning. So these are the two methods, aligned system of dimensioning and unidirectional system of dimensioning. Kindly observe both the figure and find out the difference between these two. Right. So if you closely observe this, in aligned system of dimensioning, horizontal dimension are placed horizontally and the dimension is placed above the dimension line near the middle. While vertical dimension are placed vertically, it is also placed near the middle of the dimension line and above the dimension line, so that it could easily read from the right hand edge of the drawing. Right. So this is the aligned system of dimensioning. Similar way, in unidirectional system of dimensioning, you see all the dimensions are placed near the middle of the dimension line, and also dimension line is cut between this for placing the dimension. Similar way, vertical dimension also represent horizontally like this by cutting the dimension line and placing the dimension at the middle of the dimension line. So this is the main difference between aligned system of dimensioning and unidirectional system of dimensioning. I hope you understand the difference. We generally follow this aligned system of dimensioning in this subject. Now there are general rules for placing of dimensions. So dimensioning should be done so completely that further calculation or assumption of any dimension or direct measurement from the drawing is not necessary, right? So you see this drawing, we cannot have information about this length of this part and length of this part, right? So for manufacturing point of view, we have to assume this dimension, isn't it? So this kind of assumptions should be avoided in drawing. So instead of that, this is the complete way of dimensioning, right? So this feature is 20, 10, 16 and total is a 60 millimeter. So out of that we can find out this length of this object. So this way we should avoid assumption in drawing. Dimensions should be placed outside the views unless they are clearer and more easily read inside. So whatever the dimension you represent or you place in the drawing, that should be placed outside the views unless they are clearer and more easily read inside. So if we put the dimension inside the drawing, it will be very difficult to visualize the shape and features of the drawing, right? So that's why we should avoid placing the dimension inside the views. So instead of this kind of we generally place dimension outside the object by extending the extension line or center line. So this is the correct way of dimensioning. Second point, every dimension must be given, but none should be given more than once. And a dimension should be placed on the views where its use is shown more clearly. So if you see this figure, let's say this is the front view of the object and this is the side view of the object, right? So if you see this 40 millimeter diameter is given in front view as well as in side view. So this is called a duplication of dimensioning. This should be avoided in drawing, right? So this 40 millimeter diameter should be given in such a view that its use is shown more clearly, right? So instead of this front view, side view, I should give that 40 millimeter over here. So this is the correct way of dimensioning. Again, no dimension should be repeated more than once. Mutual crossing of dimension lines and dimensioning between hidden lines should be avoided. So make sure that your dimension line never cross each other, right? And dimensioning between hidden lines should be avoided. And dimension lines should not cross any other lines of the drawing. Whenever you are doing dimensioning, make sure that your dimension line should not cross any other lines of the drawing. An outline or center line should never be used as a dimension line. So make sure that your visible line or outline of the object or center line should never be used as a dimension line. So never represent dimension on that center line or outline. Center line may be extended to serve as an extension line. So many a times the center line can be extended as a extension line. And generally we follow this aligned system of dimensioning. So you closely observe this figure, right? So here to represent this 25 millimeter dimension, I have extended my center line as an extension line over here. Similar way, to represent this 20 millimeter dimension, I have extended this center line up to this. So generally we could extend the center line for to serve as an extension line for representing the dimensioning, right? So this is again the aligned system of dimensioning. We can say that, right? Because all the horizontal dimension are horizontally and vertical dimension are vertically in such a way that it could read from the right hand side. I hope you understand the concept or difference between aligned system of dimensioning and unidirectional system of dimensioning. Do like, share and subscribe for such a more content.